Hey guys, I want to give you a brief overview about the prerequisite realities that you need to understand to make sure you have completed prior to beginning test preparation for either the ACT or the SAT. Many young adults don't have their academic course timeline planned properly. If you look in the top figure referring to math, you'll see I have it laid out 3 different ways based on how freshmen begin their math courses in high school. In the first way, the majority of freshmen begin with Algebra 1, and then they move into their sophomore year with geometry, and then their junior year with Algebra 2. Well, what's important about this is to understand that both the ACT and the SAT test topics from consumer-based ideologies all the way through Algebra 2 on their exams, and they also test some trigonomic identities, which you get from a pre-cal class. So that should make you look at method 2, where a student has taken Algebra 1 as an 8th grader, and they come in as a freshman taking geometry, and then Algebra 2 as a sophomore. Now, if you're along this track, you have a much longer time to prepare for both the ACT or the SAT, because your mathematical prerequisites will be really out of the way. And because of that, your stress level will decrease. The person that's on the normal track timeline, as I have set up in the first example of Algebra 1 to geometry to Algebra 2, they only have a few months to prepare, because we're catching them at the end of their junior year to begin preparing them. Wouldn't it be much better to catch you at the end of your sophomore year to begin to prepare you, because you've got your courses laid out properly? Keep this in mind. The third way it's organized, some young adults are really advanced and they start with Algebra 2, and then they progress to pre-cal their sophomore year, and Cal 1 and Cal 2 their senior year. So these students are even more advanced mathematically and even better prepared to take on the conceptual based types of problems that you will see on both the math exams of the ACT or the SAT. Both exams test mathematics mechanically, but it also tests mathematics conceptually. How can I use information that's not within a question to build a plan to attack the problem that they've presented? And sometimes they give you figures. For instance, a circle inscribed inside a square. And then they give you the radius of the circle, and then they ask you for the perimeter of the square. Well, that's very conceptual. You've got the radius, and if you extend it to create the diameter of the circle, then the diameter is the same length as one side of the square. And then you can add up all lengths around the square to get the total perimeter. So that's what I mean by the conceptual application of mathematics. When I say the mechanical application of mathematics, What I mean is you have an equation given to you, a quadratic equation, for instance, and they ask you to solve for x. Well, you typically just factor that, and then you figure out what x is. That's the mechanics of mathematics. That's not the application of mathematics. Now take a look at the figure in the bottom. I've got science laid out. I'm not so much concerned about science as I am mathematics. Most everybody comes in taking biology their freshman year, and then chemistry and physics. All three of these classes are really important. However, both of these exams are not testing science fundamentals. They are testing how you interpret science data from the form of graphs, charts, and tables, and then being able to read a study and understand a study and predict a hypothesis. So even though I have these laid out in a timeline, biology, chemistry, and physics, the first way throughout your junior year, it's not as heavily as influential as it is mathematically. Now, one good thing about physics is it puts mathematics to work and helps you gain some conceptual reality of using mathematics to solve problems from a physics course. So there is some good leverage out of that physics. And if you can take it your sophomore year, like I have set up in example number 2, where you have chemistry your freshman year, physics your sophomore year, then that will help you on the mathematical side of the exam as well. Okay. I hope this helps you. I hope that you begin to see how important it is to plan these math courses properly so that you can give yourself extra time to study. And by giving yourself extra time to study, you decrease your stress level. And when you decrease your stress level, you stay focused better. Okay, thanks for listening and hope you guys have a great day.